Hi guys, it's Chris with Citygirlhomestead. How are you this morning? So I am part of a collaboration. It's called May It Last Long Term, and I will be doing 2 videos this month on it. It is actually how to preserve your food for long term, whether you can it, dehydrate it, freeze it, however you're doing it. It is put on by the Budget Preppers, and so I decided I've gotten so many onions. I have froze them, I have dehydrated them, and I was thinking, what else can I do to get rid of these last 4 bags of onions that I have. My stove is cool, by the way. When I use the stove, it's cool, and it's just uses extra counter space. So what I decided to do is I'm going to make caramelized onions. Never done this before either. So I'm going to break this up in segments so you can watch what I'm doing along the way. I don't think you want to watch me chop up 4 bags of onions, so, but I'll show you what I'm going to do here. Alright, so once I get them cleaned off, I'm going to chop them in half. Now these aren't real big onions, so it should be alright. And I'm going to slice them into thin slices. I wanted to join this collaboration not just because I like doing collabs, but because in the last few years since, the Big C, I have seen how the stores, they run out of stuff, and the prices of everything have gone up so high that I figured, I better do something. And well, honestly, I got addicted to canning and dehydrating and a few of the other things too. And I think that, we have gardens and we can go to, the little roadside service stores and all that good stuff. And, a lot of you, if you go to the food bank, I know with Jack's stuff, they give a lot of fresh food away in the summer. And a lot of it goes to waste because people don't know what to do with it. So if you're, whether you have to buy it, you're gifted it, whatever, don't let your food go to waste. Because we are one of the most wasteful nations in the world, actually. And so much food goes right into the trash bins. And we don't want to do that. And if we do get the great food shortages that they're talking about, I think you want to be able to provide for your family. So that's important as well. So I'm going to get through all 4 bags of these, and I'm going to get them chopped up like this. And then I wish I could just do chopped because I already have all that in my freezer, but I guess that doesn't do it as well. But I'm actually going to kind of fluff them up apart from each other too. So I will get all these done, and then we'll go to the next step with the video. Alrighty, so I have all my onions sliced up. Now I am going through and cooking them. I will not be canning them while they're still hot because I have a live to do. So they'll be sitting there and it'll be fine. I ended up calling my sister, and I said to her, is there any reason that I couldn't slice all these up in my KitchenAid 13 cup thing that she bought me? She goes, yeah, I think you could do that, just don't do it on the thinnest. So I did these actually at the 3/4 mark, and I think they turned out wonderful. So I did 3 full bags of onions. I decided to keep the 4th so I can use for fresh. But yeah, I'm going to cook these down, and then after the live I'll be canning them. So that saved a whole lot of time being able to do it like that. But I'll be back, and just keep in mind things that you have around the house that you want to preserve and you're just not sure how. If you don't know how, email me or whatever and we'll figure it out together. Just do not let food go to waste. I mean, even if you have potatoes and you have to boil them and mash them up and freeze them, they're really good that way, by the way. Sometimes I'll grab a clump of them and I'll have them for lunch. So, let's not let any food go to waste. So I'll be back when we start canning these. Alrighty, so now I have all the onions cooked up. I'm going to move them all over here to one side. And we're going to fill the jars to the 1-inch head space. And I'm thinking to myself, I've never done these before, but was thinking different things I could use with them. So if you guys have ideas, let me know what I can do with these. It's going to be a very small batch. This is one I wished I had one of those electric canners. That's good for small batches. But that's all right. We'll make it work. I think I'm going to get 5 half pints. That should be good. Let me get something to debubble these with. Sorry guys, I thought I'd be more prepared than this. And I'm not. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of take the little bit of the air. I don't want to fluff them down too much. Just get that air out of the bottom. I guess I'll taste one. Oh man, those taste good. Really, really yummy. Now these are new jars. And it had different lids on them, but we're not going to use those lids. I've noticed a lot of failures with those, and I'm not going to use them. So I'll be using my 4 jars lids, and below you will find a link, and you can get a percentage off of those, getting the 4 jars. This is awesome. So I think I'm going to get 6 out of there. That's not so bad for 5 bags of, or 3 bags of onions. That's going to have too much in there. We don't want to go over. You want to stay within your inch. All right. I don't think I have enough for another one, but I'm not going to throw it out either. So now you're going to take your water. And I just had something to do. Can't find it. All right. So we're going to make sure we clean these rims off really, really good, because that butter is obviously an oil, and you don't want anything on there preventing from your lids to seal. So make sure you clean them off really, really good. You can use water or you can use vinegar, up to you what you use. I've just been using water lately. Unless I use meat, then I like to use the vinegar, because that can be very, very greasy. Alright, so I'm going to get my lids and rings on all these, and then see, I found something right there. Look at that. Came right up over the side. So let's clean that one again. I'm going to get all the lids and rings on these, clean this mess up, and then I'll bring you back to show you how to get it into the canner. Alrighty, so I end up getting 6 half pints. Now, so that it's not a totally empty canner, I'm going to put 2 pint jars in there, just filled with water. And that way, nothing will roll around inside there. Going to put the lid on it. Close it up. Everything's cold, cold, and cold. So I'm going to turn it on high and let it build pressure. Once the steam starts coming out the little, I don't know what you call it, but anyway, once the steam starts coming out of there and vents for 10 minutes, then we will put on our jiggler. So when it gets to that point, I'll be back and show you what's next. Alright, so now it's been a constant steam, venting of steam for 10 minutes. So I do 10 pounds of pressure for my area. So you're going to put that on there, and you're going to wait for it to do a constant jiggle. And then I can adjust the heat. As soon as it gets to that jiggle, I'll come right back. Okay, so now you can hear it's at a constant jiggle. So I know the sweet spot on mine, it's like between the low and medium. And it's going to stop jiggling non-stop here shortly. I mean, if it jiggles non-stop, it's not going to hurt anything. But it will get to the point where it'll stop and then it'll jiggle. Stop and then jiggle. And that means it's keeping your constant 10 pounds of pressure. And that's what you need. See, it stopped. Now it's building up the pressure again. And then it'll start to jiggle. I like this one better than I do the gauge one, actually, because I can find my sweet spot on this one a lot easier than I can the gauge one. This one's actually a canner from the 1970s. My other one's a brand new one from 2 years ago, but I still prefer this one. I actually had to replace the sealer on the inside, and it cost me more than it did for the whole machine, but I love this one. Let's see, there she goes again. And it'll keep doing that. Now for half pints it's 70 minutes. For pints it's 75 minutes. I'll be back when they're done and out of the canner and show you what they look like. Alrighty guys, so they are finished. Aren't they beautiful? I think they've all popped too. Yes, they have. Even the water back there. Look at that. We actually might be using these, one of them anyway, for dinner tonight. All beautiful. So, again, this is May It Last 23. And I am going to put a link down below that you can click on and enter the contest to win a $50 gift card, I think it is. Again, the caramelized onions, 70 minutes for half pints, 75 minutes for pints. And looks so awesome. I've just been picturing things to do with them, so we'll get it figured out. And again, below you'll find my link for the 4-jar canning lids, and my Canadian friends, you now get a discount for Canada as well. You guys have a very blessed night. Be a blessing. And check out the list over there, and I'm sure she's got tons and tons of stuff. It's over at The Budget Preppers.